Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. This is Jasur from Shanghai Silk Road and Mauro from Moto Consulting. Mauro is joining me from other part of Shanghai. He's also in Shanghai. And Moto Consulting, his company is also located in Shanghai, but we are located, as many of you know, in Songjiang district of Shanghai, and Mauro is located in Pudong district of Shanghai. This short interview on forming a company in Italy. Because lately, since we started talking about opening an AliExpress store, Italy is one of the countries that AliExpress is kind of partnering with. So let's just quickly repeat. In European Union, you have Italy, Spain, France, and from the European side, you've got Russia, and also like European and Asian side to Turkey. Okay, so these are the 5 countries, except for China, that you can form a company and start opening your AliExpress store. So I'm really happy to introduce you guys once again. Mauro is the CEO and founder of Moto Consulting, joining us from Shanghai. So he will be talking about basically, how to form a company and how you can, as a foreigner, how you can link that company to your AliExpress store. So without further ado, I'm going to give the microphone to Mauro.
Thank you, Jasur. Very happy to join your channel, and actually, it's very interesting to see that Italy is one of the few countries where you can manage your AliExpress. Actually, before you told me, I didn't even know that. So it's good. It's good info, for all of us.
Sure.
It's something that you can look into, as most of the business now is conducted online. People got used more and more to buy stuff online. You saw, Amazon exploded during this time, and it's a good time to enter into this system.
Mm-hmm.
So as you mentioned, when you want to open your AliExpress, but even of course any other activity that you would like to carry out.
Of course, it's not only for AliExpress, right? You can use that company for any other business purposes, right?
Indeed. For any activity that you would like to carry out, of course you need to have a formal registration.
Sure.
Basically a company. This it's we will see that it's not it's not too difficult, but there are different steps that are required in managing this. Of course, there will be people that will help you, so you don't need to go in and out, and the good thing is that you can manage it also from abroad. So you don't need to be physically in Italy to open this. So I think this is a very important point that I would like to that I wanted to say at the beginning. So as in the different countries, also in the UK is the same. When we talk about let's say like small or medium enterprise, since we are talking in this case, we would talk about a limited company, right? So the same that you can open, I don't know, in London, that you can open in Hong Kong, or that you can open with some limitations, like with all of the regulations that we have in the mainland China. So this is the context in which you build a limited company. In Italy is the same. Is the limited company is called SRL in Italian. I will not tell you the extensive form, because it's kind of long.
It's a limited liability company, right? LTD.
Yes,
Okay.
this is basically what you need. Actually, I was told that there is now a new, you can have the classic limited company, and there is a new kind which is a limited company simplified. Is called, which has some, it has like less costs, but also has some limitations. So for the purpose of our talk, we will focus just on the classic, let's say. But if the scope of your business is, might suit also this simplified company, we can also discuss that, in privately. You can contact me anytime.
Sure.
So first, in opening, the the classic limited company, as we were saying, first you need how to say, it's I don't know, because this is like a technical terms of the Italian, jurisprudence. You need like a notary, a document that is notarized by the notary. The notary is like is a sort of a lawyer, let's say. Okay, which he's an officer of the government, so he will put the seal on this document, saying that everything is true and legitimate. So this is the first step.
What document should be notarized? Sorry to interrupt. So what document?
Yes. In this case, you notarize the fact that you are opening the company, that you are requesting to open.
The person who want to open a company need to write some kind of letter and then get it authorized, like put everything in writing.
Yes, you need to put everything in writing. It's anyway, will be the notary itself that will draft all of this. So you don't.
So it's kind of, let's call it like an intention to open a company, right?
Yes, exactly. So you will you will contact us or whoever like is willing and able like to do this, and then this document will be prepared on your needs. Okay, and then the notary will actually put his seal on this. Then second step is that as in China, the company needs to have a social capital, is called in English, I think. And
in China, right?
Yes. But no, before this is not a requirement, I think, in the UK or in Hong Kong. No, I don't think it's a requirement anymore. Yeah. But in the mainland China, you have these requirements. However, you don't need to pay this capital, so you can just say,
right?
Yeah, it's not paid out in China when you open a WFOE. So you can say, $100,000, 3,000. 300,000, like, and so on and so forth. In Italy, instead, you have this these requirements, and at least 25% needs to be paid out in your company bank account. So it's just to say that you are serious in a way, so that you are actually investing. You are putting some money in this company, that the company is not empty. Anyway, since the minimum social capital is 10,000 euros, you can even start with just 2,500. So it's not a huge amount. It's not a huge amount of money.
Right.
Then for the simplified company, this is a little bit less, but just to put it in here. But anyway, like, we are not talking about huge sums of money in this case. Anyway, this money, this let's say like 2,500 minimum euros,
Right.
you can also use this same money to open the company itself. So to pay, for example, for the notary, for the notary itself, and to open all of the, to pay for all of the steps that you need to carry out. So,
You can use this capital, right? Right.
Yes, you can use the same capital itself that you are putting as a, guarantee that you are
Okay, let me quickly ask you. So let's say that this client who has this intention to open a company in Italy, and then we find him a lawyer, through your consultancy, and so in this moment, the client needs to inject that 2,500 euros. At least the 25% of the capital, right? Paid up capital. So where the client is going to inject that money? So the notary is going to open an account, or how does it work?
No. That will be you will give a power of attorney to your accountant, which we can help you. We can help you find.
Right,
you will give the power of attorney to the accountant, which will carry out, this operation for you. He or she will go to the bank and will open the corporate account for your company itself.
Right.
So they will ask you some questions about, okay, what is it for, kind of business, all of this stuff.
Right.
There will be a fee of about, I don't know, 50 euros, something like that, to open, open, like, to do the paperwork, and you will have your corporate account, and then you will send this 25% that we mentioned before to the corporate bank account, and then you can use these monies themselves to pay for the different steps that we've been talking about.
Right. And I'm assuming opening a bank account, since it's going to happen before we launch the application. So I'm assuming the process of opening a corporate bank account is much faster than in China, right? In China, normally it takes several days. How about in Italy? What is the average time?
Honestly, I have to say that I'm not entirely sure about this. I think also depends from where you are. If you are in Milan or Rome, or if you are in a smaller city.
Depends on the specific location and the bank.
Yes,
right.
But mostly I think it shouldn't take very long. For sure, will be the time will be shorter than in China, where you need to go back and forth. Also, when I open mine, they ask me for pictures of my office.
Right. Yeah, bank manager is going to confirm the office in China. Yeah, that's.
Yes.
So that nothing is required in Italy like that, right?
No. You will not need any of this.
All right. So let's continue.
No worries about it. Then the next step, you need to open your VAT registration. So basically, is to pay the taxes.
Right.
This is done also by your accountant. Is in Italian is called partita IVA, which is IVA is the Italian for the VAT, so for the value added tax.
All right.
And this I think is around 300 euros, like something like that.
All right.
Then. As I said, unfortunately, there are different steps, so we still have few more to go through. You need to open a position with the social security, in case, but only in case that you have in which you have employees. If you don't have employees, you can skip this.
How about employee? I mean, the founder of the company will be the company's first employee as a director. So in that case, they need to apply for social security account, right?
No, I don't think so. Especially if you are abroad, you can carry out the
Oh,
operation.
okay. It's needed when they relocate to Italy by a work visa or something like you know, as an okay employee.
In that case, I think you need to, like, you will show that you are the owner of the company and that the company is providing you income. So
Got it.
for investor, in this case, there is like a procedure for the business visa, for the working visa, in this case. So this also will be.
Yeah, I know that this topic is you know, a separate big topic, so probably we're going to prepare another video for that. So let's leave that on the side, and then so starting from Social Security, what's the next?
Then you need to open a position for. You need to register your company to the local chamber of commerce.
All right.
Yes, and then you need to together with this, you need to get the bookings. So you know, for let's say that you need to verbalize the board of director meetings, you know, all of this all of these things.
Okay.
Yeah, company books. Yeah, exactly. Right. Company books.
Okay. All right.
Then you need to get the digital seal and the certified email address. So like, you know, it's so that when you send an email, it's equivalent to, you know, a formal letter in which, you know, you are sure about, you know, when you send it, when you open it, so that, you know, everything is
so
you know, everything
what is the organization that gives this digital company license and certified email address?
Okay, I think these are managed by some private companies, you know, like Aruba.
Okay, they do it through.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. They are, you know, they have agreements to the government about this kind of services. And I think like the one I know that is the most famous is Aruba. It's called. But I think there are several others that provides this kind of services.
So let me ask another follow-up question. Basically, this getting the Social Security if needed, and like actually starting from the opening of the corporate account, and then Social Security, and then local chamber of commerce, and getting this digital CA certified email address and everything. So it will be done by obviously your company, or is it going to be done by the accountant? So who should the power of attorney go?
You will give power of attorney to the accountant on which we are affiliated.
Right. So power of attorney is going to be like one power of attorney, or do we have to give like a separate power of attorneys for different steps?
I think one will be enough, because you will say to you know, we
combine everything, and then okay.
Yes, you will make basically a paper saying that you give this authorization to the accountant that will open
the company registration process, right?
Yeah, the registration in this body, and so on and so forth.
Got it. Okay, so please continue.
Yes. I think at this point we are basically at the end. Then, you know, you need to have your accountant you know, paid for like yearly, as in China, you know, as basically everywhere, as they need to you know, they need to take care of your bookings. For you know, taxes and so on, and of course, you know, it's you, and also, you know, you can register the office to the office of the accountant itself. You don't need a formal
So it's a
office.
virtual office, right?
Yes, basically it's like a virtual office, yes. Otherwise, you can find, we can help you find a
physical space
in case you need it.
All right, understandable. All right. So now let me ask you some questions in order to clarify a couple of things. So as you know, in China, when you register a company, you need to select some business scopes in order to put on your business license. Because in China, some areas are government regulated and some areas are not open for foreigners. So how about in Italy? So for me to register a company, an LTD company, can I just register a trading company and do whatever I want and trade with whatever I want, or is it limited to some scopes? Right.
No, it's, you don't have a business license in the way that, that we talk about, like when you are talking about the Chinese WFOE.
Right.
So, if you give like a general scope, like trading or consulting, you have no limitation. Then if at some point, you do some like other actions through that, let's say that you make a translation for someone, like you can issue the receipts according to that, and like that's fine. Nobody will tell you, like you went outside of
related to, for example, even when we talk about the products. Like, for example, in China, you have a separate business license for trading with alcohol, for example, or food, for example. How about in Italy? Can I, for example, register a general trading company and open an AliExpress store and start selling wine, Italian wine, and then coffee maybe? So is it allowed?
Yeah, that's okay. If you are managing, just the export, the import-export, that's fine. I think you will need some like license and checks if you want like to produce. So if you want to open a plant or something, but in like otherwise you will not need like any of this.
Right.
Yes.
Recently, I have a client actually. Sorry to interrupt you, because this question is very important for the client, actual client. She's from China, okay? And I need to tell you that when we talk about opening AliExpress store, Chinese are, in the forefront, actually, both in China and outside of China. So there's a Chinese company from Guangdong province, and they already have a, AliExpress seller account on the global platform. Which is, using your Chinese company, you can open an AliExpress store here and you can sell globally. But in Italy's case, if you open an AliExpress store in Italy, you can only sell throughout European Union, right? Because it's a part of it. Or locally to Italian people. So this Chinese client of ours, she's interested in opening a store in one of the European countries, including Turkey. So her question is, because her factory in China produces electronic cigarettes, her question is like for this kind of devices, and also she's interested in tobacco products. So for this kind of products, does she have to get a separate license, or just like alcohol she can sell?
Okay, honestly, I need to tell you that I need to double check this, because when you are talking about, this kind of, products where you have, let's say, some sort of regulations that are concerning, the healthcare. Or in the case of food and drugs, let's say, then in this case I think you need to double check the origin of the products, all of these things that goes under the that go under the import-export business, basically. But that is also totally manageable.
Manageable, right? Okay, you can assist us, assistance basically. All right. So far so clear. And all right, next very important question is, as we are experiencing since the start of the pandemic in China, some of the major banks in China refusing the application of foreign clients to open a corporate bank account because of different reasons. But most of the reasons are related to financial risks, people coming from, without any credit background, or who have not operated any business in China before. Probably they are the ones, having the most difficult time to open a corporate bank account, or people who are associated with, risky countries, for example, politically or otherwise, risky countries for China. So how about in Italy? I mean, do the banks refuse clients' applications, and is it a usual thing? And if they refuse, what are the alternatives?
Okay. About as far as I know, then if there is that one case that I missed, so far I never heard about people getting their accounts refused.
Right.
So that should not be a problem, especially because as we told before, you need to give some money in advance. So you will put your social capital and you will pay out some of that money in cash in your corporate bank account. So, if you go there and, you say, let's say, you go to Bank of China here in Shanghai, and you say, I open a company, but, you will leave, you plan to leave the corporate account empty for 2 years. Of course, there will be some sanctions, but in this case, you go there and you are already exactly ready with the money in your hands. Well, they will be online, but figuratively.
Well, this is a good point. A good point,
So
actually. Yeah.
In this case, you go there saying, I need to open the account and I will put this X amount of money in the bank account. So I don't see any reasons why someone should refuse it.
Should refuse you, right? Yeah, well, that's a good point, Mauro. But recently we had several clients actually, and surprisingly, those clients were from European Union. I mean, developed countries. Because in China it was never heard of. Developed country citizens were refused for the bank account. So anyway, the bank actually put a requirement for them to make a deposit. And deposit is not that large, but anyway, there are some limitations, unfortunately. For example, they're saying that you can open an account, but in 1 month you can transfer this X amount of money only, and for the 6 months. After 6 months we're going to reevaluate your application and blah blah. You can reapply. But anyway, so it's good to hear that in Italy that's not the case. So clients do not have to worry, right? They can open, and then after the company is registered, after they've got the company documents, they can apply for AliExpress seller account, right, using the platform. And many people actually ask about that part. As far as I know, because I went through myself through the application process, there's nothing to explain, guys. Basically, it's just a technicality. Click of a mouse, next, and the system is going to ask you exactly like Mauro mentioned, proof of your company's VAT registration. So Mauro, when the company is registered, are they going to issue some kind of written document for the VAT?
So you will have some paperwork when your VAT registration is done, right, and basically your position is open, you will have that paperwork.
All right. So basically, a system is going to ask you to upload that VAT document from Italian company, and obviously you will have, like Mauro mentioned, digital CL like company license, you will upload that part as well. And obviously you will be giving the Alipay system all the details about yourself, like your name, a copy of your passport as the company operator and the owner, and your contact details, and utility bills as a proof of your address and everything else, basically. All right, so probably, you know, it would be better to include, Mauro, some information about like getting work visas, if you have any information on that. Obviously, we're going to make a proper, like a longer video on that, like relocation to Italy, but can clients use their freshly, like newly registered company to apply for work visa?
Yes, yes. Actually, there is, well, you know, now it's a moment where like it's very difficult to travel and so on. But let's say in peaceful time, let's say, you will have, you know, how to say, facilitated process when, you know, you are investing, since, you know, like we, like Italy, as most of the countries around the world, like welcomes investments, welcome, you know, people that will, you know, enter the country, get, like, produce stuff, sell stuff, pay taxes on this, maybe get some employees and so on. So you, like, you will go through the process. You will be asked, of course, you know, criminal records, you know, all of these things that you are asked basically everywhere. And then you will get, you know, your permission, you know, to stay, your residence permit to stay, and you know, your company will be in a way your sponsor.
Right. Got it. Okay, so yeah, like I said, I mean, maybe we're going to prepare another video for like applying for work visa and getting the, you know, work permit for, you know, working in Italy and maybe moving there. But in the meantime, so let me ask you one of the questions, just, you know, also important, I think. For the total, like when we talk about registering a company, how long it's going to take, if we calculate including the bank account and everything, the total time frame, how long does it take?
Okay, look, this, I'm not entirely sure, you know, I can't tell you, you know, X days, just because, you know, as also in China, you know, the
bureaucracy
New Year is coming, so maybe your I don't know, work permit is ready in 10 days, and then, you know, the New Year comes, and then they tell you, oh, you need to come after that, you know. So of course you always need to, you know, always need to consider all of this, you know, all of these things. But I do believe this should be like less than a month. I believe. Then, like, all things considered. But like, I believe it might be like even less.
Even less. All right. Very interesting, yeah. And I know that there is a, like, for example, you know, the difference between Italy and China when it comes to forming a company and running a business. Italy is in the European Union, guys. So when you think about it, forming a company in Italy opens you the whole European Union market. And as far as I know, European Union market is one of the biggest markets in the world, actually. So you have access to all the other countries, right? Without any issues. Using your own Italian company, you can sell or, you know, do business in any other country that is in the European Union.
Yes, you know, you have basically no borders between the now 27 countries. Then, you know, the UK, for example, is still, you know, in a sense, is still very close despite all the uncertainty. Sure. But, you know, in case maybe I can help you open a company also in the UK. Maybe we can have like another separate video with my partner. Then you know, like in all of this is like 500,000 people with, you know, like an it's you know, 500,000 people with most like rich countries and some that are, you know, in development, so, you know, medium high level. So this might be like it is quite convenient to enter. Then remember that for 19 countries you just use the euro as a currency, so you will not have that uncertainty between, you know, changing exchanging from a currency to the other, especially, you know, if you know, especially for the biggest countries, so Germany, Spain, France, also Ireland can be another option, you know, speak English and so on. So this you know, is there are many good reasons, you know, to
definitely, and also because, you know, when we talk about, again, forming a company in one country, clients sometimes interested in tax amount and how the tax system work. I'm trying to avoid that question in general, because, you know, it's better to consult the professional accountant on that. But in European Union, if you can give us like a general overview, you know, how the tax system work and how, you know, what are the rates in Italy, for example.
Look, in this case, I think depends also, you know, from the kind of business, you know, that what you are managing, because for example the VAT is different from one product to the other. So there will be products that have, I don't know, 4% VAT, some that have 23. I think the maximum for now is 23. Then you know, in Italy this might be like slightly complex sometimes, but you know, the professional will help you. You know, you will have one tax that is for you know, your employees, you know, for the physical person is called. Then there will be the tax on your activity, basically. Then, you know, you will have the all the other taxes, you know, that you know, that serve to, you know, manage the business. For example, you know, the how to say, you know, to keep for the environment, you know, like to keep clean.
Minor taxes for that, right. For ecology, okay. Like I mentioned, it's better to avoid talking about the tax system and the percentages of taxes, because that's you know, separate well, field in its own, right? So maybe we're going to make another separate video, probably if Mauro can ask one of his you know, accountant you know, colleagues later. Yeah, that's going to be because we did several videos with our accountant in China, and that was quite helpful to understand and to give some idea for the clients, you know, to understand how the accounting system works. Another thing I want to mention as an advantage to start a company in Italy is when we talking about like starting an AliExpress store, clients can also consider opening a Amazon store as well, you know, because, you know, when you open a company, you can use the same company, same trading company, to apply for all the available online platforms, and Amazon definitely should not be avoided, right? So Amazon is the biggest platform, actually, as far as I know, in Europe. That's the biggest e-commerce platform, and Amazon definitely has a bigger presence than AliExpress, I think, in European continent. So when you register a company in Italy, one of the developed countries of the European Union, you can also apply for Amazon seller account easily, right? It's going to be much easier than, for example, using your company which is registered outside of Amazon's like a map, so to speak. For example, from African countries or some of the Asian countries where Amazon does not really function that widely, basically. All right, so any other things that clients need to consider?
One thing that I would say is, if you can get someone and we can help you with that speaks Italian, because despite English being the language of the world, like anything that that you want to think about this, but the thing is that still most people, maybe the professional or the bankers and so on will be fluent in English, but your client or your like the manufacturers, if you want to buy locally and so on, most probably they will not speak English unless they have someone dedicated, some sort of export officer, like something like someone like that.
Yeah, definitely, sure. This is what we advise.
Also, I remember you had a video with 𝐒𝐢𝐥𝐤 about contracts, etc. in China.
Right.
Always take care of your contracts. They need to be, of course, also in Italian. Right. Like better to be in Italian, with all of the requirements well specified, because in case that something goes wrong, you always have all the paperwork in order. In fact, one thing that we in Italy we say many times is that when you go to court, usually who wins is the one who have the paperwork in order, not the one that maybe is right, like in principle. So always take care of this. Like it's something that I would strongly suggest.
Of course. Yeah, like I keep mentioning, in most of the countries, for example, we offer this same service, company registration in South Korea, Singapore, Hong Kong, Dubai. Recently I posted. So in all of the countries, it doesn't matter where, basically, paperwork is very important. Unfortunately, like Mauro mentioned, there are clients who they don't really pay attention to the importance of keeping a nice paperwork, like drafting the contracts or keeping their invoices, and the consequences, unfortunately, are not really good. So when you come across with a difficult client or somebody takes advantage of your naivety, then when you are about to hire a lawyer, the lawyer is going to ask you some very few questions to determine, if they can take your case or not. So these are the questions, basically. Do you have a contract? Can you show me your invoice? So if you don't have them, then probably you cannot even hire a lawyer, because lawyers will not going to spend time for nothing.
It's not like a contract is something like magical that will protect no matter what. But at least you have something in your hands. You have signatures, stamps, and so on. And at least you have that to say, okay, I asked this and this, and all of these points were broken. And at least you have something to work with. If you just say, we shook hands and we paid in cash, like, what can I do? I can't even verify if, this actually happened. Like, how can I demonstrate that I paid you in cash and I'm not just making that up? So
unfortunately, it happens a lot, but this is something really need to consider. All right, so Mauro, thank you very much. I think this video, has all the information, basic information that we mentioned, and that are needed for the clients to consider, to prepare to invest in Italy and start their company, basically. If you guys have any questions related to forming a company, opening a bank account there, Feel free to comment, first of all. And if you want to include more detailed information, you are always welcome and also encouraged to email us. I'm going to leave both companies' contact details. Whoever you contact, it really doesn't matter. We cooperate with MAURO's company. So yeah, welcome, and thank you for watching. Once again, really appreciate it, and especially a big thank you goes to MAURO taking the time joining this video. I believe this is going to be useful. So we will like I said, MAURO, we will try to organize different videos on separate topics, maybe immigration and accounting in Italy, but definitely that's going to be like in the future at some point. And for people watching us from China, by the way, very happy Chinese New Year, which is starting literally like on 11th of February and is going to continue until 17th, I believe, 17th of February. So we're going to take like off for the Chinese holiday, Chinese New Year. So you guys have a nice holiday, and MAURO as well. I know that you've been planning. Have a nice holiday. Have a good trip. Yeah, wherever you're going. So we will be in touch. Thank you. Yeah, 新年快乐. Thank you.